Hello, welcome to your speaking. And now let's move to part one. I have some questions for you. So, what is your favorite subject?
So my favorite subject is English, and I'm truly passionate about this subject because of its benefits for me. Firstly, English enable me to communicate with people from around the world, so I can sustain good relationship with my foreign friend. And it's also a global language, so allowing me to connect with individuals from many culture and background. Secondly, studying English and my career prospect in the globalized world and open up many job opportunity for me. English deepen my understanding. I could say that English is not just a subject, it's a gateway to knowledge, connection, and personal growth.
What do you find most challenging in your study?
So I think when I study English, it has a lot of difficulty. So about grammar complexity. So English grammar with a varied tense, verb form, and sentence structure can be so complex and challenging for non-native speaker to be mastered. About pronunciation, English pronunciation is so hard to get my hand on, especially I'm a speaker of language with a different phonetic system. Besides that, developing strong writing skill in English, including standard structure, cohesion, can be so difficult for a learner, particularly when it's come to academic and professional writing. Last but not least, understanding cultural reference or idiom or collocation expressed in English can pose a challenge for me, as language is deeply connected to cultural context.
So, what major will you study in university?
So to be honest, I have not made up my mind about this. The decision of what majority to study in university is a significant one, and it should be made with careful consideration of interest, strength, or future career objective. It is also important to remember that your choice of major does not necessarily lock you into a specific career for the rest of your life. But if I have to answer, according to my hobby, I'd like to choose international relation because I think this major is suitable for my personality and my own strength. I admire communicating with others instead of job which is related to math or economics. I find it bored and difficult to look for a high-paid work for in the future.
Thank you. And now let's move to part two. Can you please describe a period of time in your studies that was the most difficult for you?
Okay, so one of the more challenging period in my study was during my first year studying in my high school. So it's got a time when I'm taking a span major in English, and I was also involved in a demanding exam. I think it was a terrible time because I felt like I cannot catch up with my talent classmate. Even when I put so much effort to learn, in that time I've cried a lot and usually called up my mom for advice. So the difficulties stem from the complexity of the lesson and the high expectations set by the teacher. The concept being taught required deeper level of understanding that I had previously encountered. Additionally, the research project demand a significant amount of time and effort, which added to academic pressure. I often feel worried and stressful by deadline. During that time, I had allocated a substantial portion of my day to self-studying, attend extra classes, and asking my teacher and study in group with my classmate. I striking I am striking a balance between academic and personal well-being pose a threat to me. But fortunately, I believe that I would succeed in overcoming the difficulty. While it has a hard period, the experience taught me valuable lesson in self-sufficient time management and the importance of finding support when facing academic problem. So this hypothetical experience reflects the resilience and determination required to navigate challenging academic period and highlight the significance of finding assistance, maintain a balance and suitable approach to address difficulty and also improve your study habit.
Thank you. And now I have some questions for you in part 3. How are education priorities today different from those in the past?
So for me, over time, education priority have evolved to adapt to the changing need of society and the workforce. As can be seen in the past, education priority often focus on traditional academic subject and learn by heart. This aim was primarily on imparting knowledge and mastering a specific content area. For instance, the grammar translation method was popular for teaching language, highlight the importance of vocabulary and grammar. But today there is notable shift toward prioritizing skill that foster like critical thinking, communication, teamwork skill, and problem solving. Educator recognize the crucial prepare student for a rapid changing world where the ability to navigate new challenge and adapt to change is really necessary.
What problems are there in schools' curriculum today?
So I think that there are several significant problems in school curriculum today, impact student, teacher, and the overall education system. So about education technology, why it has benefit for students, especially in the area of technology development, technical error and lack of teacher training in standard system had been identified as problems that have affected the successful implementation of educational technology initiative. Besides that, supporting pupil mental health has become a critical issue in school. Addressing the mental health need of students is essential for creating a positive and supportive learning environment. So some teachers find it is difficult to demystify the lesson to have students has their knowledge at their fingertip. So addressing the issue is crucial for improving the overall quality of education and ensuring that students receive the support they need to success. It requires collaboration among educator, parent, and other stakeholders to find effective solution.
Thank you. And how well do you think schools should prepare young people for working life?
So for me, preparing young people for the challenge of the working world is crucial responsibility for the education system. So school are encouraged to emphasize real life skill such as project management or teamwork. Additionally, there is a call for a future focused approach that connect education with future success of a student in their career and personal life. So besides that, schools are also encouraged to keep themselves informed about the changing job market and the skill student need. This involves designing learning experience that prepare students to become leader, problem solver, and innovator. And it is believed that schools play a key role in preparing young people for the working world. This involves not only improving academic knowledge, but also provide practical skill to equip students for success in their future.
Thank you. Now you ask me. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with speaking part 1. So what is your favorite subject?
Well, to be honest, although I'm a English major student, I actually love biology the most. I feel like I can have biology at my fingertips faster than acquiring other subjects' knowledges. This is mainly because I can easily find biologic examples from my surroundings or even from my own body. Unfortunately, according to new national curriculum, these subjects is not concluded in my current curriculum. But I think I will try to gear my schedule in my university to join some biology clubs.
So, what do you find more challenging in your study?
Well, I would probably say addressing my passion, my aim for studying. I think that is mainly because of industrial age values is still presenting in today's education. Since a very young age, I have been told what to do and have gotten several compliments on doing exactly what I was told. I cannot detect my aim of studying, my passion, but only following instructions. And consequently, sometimes I feel lost and cannot give decisions on my own, or even worry and overthink about my own ideas, my creative ideas, whether is it accurate, is it good enough, is it suitable, something like that.
What major will you study in university?
In my future, my first aim is to study in economics. I find all the economic knowledge can be on hand when it comes to choosing a wide range of career options. Moreover, I also believe if I know about economy, I could have ingenuity to solve money problems in the future, like saving monies or solving debt problem or paying tax or trying to balance my money in and out. And these knowledge and these skills, I think, are very crucial in an adult life. Yeah.
Now, so let's moving on to part two. Let's describe a period of time in your study that was the most difficult for you.
So personally speaking, I am not a so smart student. There were some periods in my life that I find studying struggling, but if I have to choose one period, I will probably say grade 8 might be the worst time during my education path. Well, I mean, it's the worst time, but I did not find general subjects hard. But what I am talking about is my major, English. I found it very hard at that time. It was the time after a COVID-19 pandemic when the competition for student majoring in English had been cancelled, that I find struggling studying this subject. Uh, because having passed a whole year of competition. So when I got back to the class, I was probably shocked by new test structure and a much wider range of advanced knowledge that I couldn't think I have to study. Although my teacher did provide studying documents, but I cannot make the most of it since I didn't find the right way for me to study at that time instead of only learning by heart, which was the worst way to acquire those wide knowledge, in my opinion. Luckily, I actually had the best friends ever, and some of them are my classmates now, and I really appreciate them at that time and now. They were goodwill and helped me a lot in finding the suitable way to study. My friends always demystify hard words and grammar for me, as well as took charge of giving me small tests every day, though I didn't ask to. Those tests were about like new words, grammar structure, how well can I apply those words, collocations into my real life. And thanks to their help, I got better and better every day. And just after I found the most suitable way to learn English for me, I feel more confident about my major. And now I still sustain some good relationships with them. And I think that I will still change my studying skills to be more suitable with new knowledge now.
So now let's moving on to part three. How are education priority today different from those in the past?
Well, as the world is changing pretty fast, the priorities of education today also transformed. Instead of following those industrial value, which encourages students to follow instruction and stay in a comfort zone, students nowadays are recommended to be creative all the time. And in some tests, the creativity even get the bonus point. Well, for example, in the marking structure of literature nowadays, there are always 0.5 point for creativity of all students. Moreover, I think that today education actually prioritizes the proactivity of students instead of just following lecture, and teachers have to be the one who provide knowledge all the time. Now students can actually the one who discover new knowledge first, and classmates or students can discuss with each other in the lessons, and teacher will just be the one who give comments on their work and give more knowledge, like whether the knowledge they are talking about, the information are correct or not. And lastly, I also learned that nowadays technology is applying more and more into educations to help students to leverage those new advances to apply more and better knowledge that is suitable in new era. Yeah.
So what problem are there in school curriculum today?
In my view, the issues appearing nowadays in curriculum is that firstly, students are spending more time on learning instead of taking part in extracurricular or maybe physical activities like exercises. Well, I think this leads to limit time for entertainment, which can affect health or even brain function because students nowadays really have a shortage of relaxation. Furthermore, I can see that most knowledge that are taught in schools are not applied very well in reality or even in some future career. We can take geometry as an example. I cannot think about the real life. I apply all the geometry knowledge into my life, and I even asked my parents, and they told me that only those who work for architecture or maybe even who works very deep in math, they even apply geometry knowledge into their life. But my parents, their friends, or maybe many other jobs do not apply those knowledge. Lastly, I think that in schools curriculum today, some students just use too many technology into studying instead of being proactive in on their own. What I am talking about here is that some students use AI and use more technology to work, to do homework, and they do not even read a whole book on their own, but they ask the AI assistant to do that for them. And I think this is a very bad idea for studying.
So how well do you think school should prepare young people for working life?
Of course, working life is not the whole preparation of school, but students will still need to be the one who do it. But I think that in some size, schools still can prepare for young people for working life. Firstly, school can educate students about capitalism. I mean, well, this is like teach the way to use money, how to make profits from all the money in and out, and this knowledge about economy can help students a lot in the future that they can only learn in advance in university or schools in order to live or have a better life. Um, I think that school nowadays should also provide opportunities for students to discover their aim, to discover more into student selves, like who they are and what are they doing in this world, so that they can have a direct aim in the working life. They can know that what they should do, and they can see their ideal career path, which make them more proactive in the future life. Last but not least, I can say that school now can teach students the best way to behave, how to work, how to be teamwork, and how to sustain good relationship with each other. This moral knowledge can help students a lot in the future, especially in working and behaving with co-workers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, bye
Đây
bye.
is the last question. Ai? Để chú lo cái đã anh ạ. Okay.